Prince William shares ruthlessness with Queen when dealing with Meghan Markle and Harry. Prince William is showing the same ruthlessness of his grandmother, the Queen, when it comes to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a royal expert has claimed. As future monarch, Prince William appears to have inherited from Queen Elizabeth II the sense of duty and sacrifice for the crown, and according to royal expert Robert Lacey, he's showing a similar ruthlessness to his grandmother in the aftermath of Meghan and Harry's decision to step down as senior royals. Mr. Lacey told Vanity Fair, "At the end of the day, we saw ruthlessness from the Queen over her absolute refusal to allow the Sussexes to use the word royal for the new branding. And we are seeing the same ruthlessness in William." During the summit, which took place at Sandringham in January, Prince William, Prince Charles and the Queen discussed with Prince Harry the terms of his and Meghan's exit from the royal family as full-time working royals. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex had to cave in on their request to carry out their royal duties and give up their first brand, Sussex Royal. While retaining their full royal titles, they had to relinquish the use of their HRH style. William's utmost respect to the crown and duty is believed to have played a part in the tensions between the brothers. According to Lacey, Prince William showed concern for the speed at which the relationship between his brother and Meghan was going. The Duke of Sussex didn't perceive this worry as a mere concern from an older brother for a blossoming relationship, the expert wrote in his book Battle of Brothers. It read, "For his part, William was worried that his brother was going too fast in his courtship, and he didn't shrink from saying so when Harry started talking about getting hitched. This all seems to be moving rather quickly," William was said to have remarked to Harry, doubtfully on the testimony of more than one friend. "Are you sure?" William could not understand how Harry could contemplate marrying this still unknown and untested quantity just 2 years after their first meeting. It went against their every instinct and his own track record. If William had taken nearly a decade to test out and prove his life partner, surely his younger brother could ponder his option for just a year or so more. But William, of course, took so long to commit to Kate for the sake of the monarchy. He had been auditioning her for a job all those years. So Harry could not help but wonder whether Wills was still really concerned about his personal happiness, or whether he was once again, and as per usual, thinking about the makeup and fortunes of the firm whose boss he would become one day. Mr. Lacey doesn't believe that the relationship between the brothers will return to be as close as was before Meghan entered Harry's life. Both Harry and William now have children, two separate families, as well as different interests and futures. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex don't appear to have any intention of leaving their US home over the foreseeable future. However, the author believes that the brothers must find a way to reconcile, as this fallout could be a long-term damage to the monarchy's image. He told Vanity Fair the challenge for William is whether, while being true to his principles, he can also modernize the institution by making his brother part of it. That's what everyone wants, some kind of reconciliation. Prince Harry furious he and Meghan Markle were shunted aside in final royal engagement. Prince Harry was furious after seeing he and Meghan Markle were to be so graphically shunted aside at their last public royal engagement, a royal author has claimed. Prince Harry was angry after he had been informed that he and Meghan would not take part in the procession at the Commonwealth Day service, royal author Robert Lacey has claimed. The author reported in his book Battle of Brothers how the Sussexes had been shunned from the traditional procession, which sees senior royals following the Queen through the aisle of Westminster Abbey before the start of the service. Hours before the event was to take place, Kate and Prince William, on the other hand, were still scheduled to wait for the Queen's arrival at the Abbey and follow her to their seats rather than being quietly escorted there alone by aides. This decision, Mr. Lacey noted, would have made the different statuses enjoyed by the heir William and the spare Harry more evident to the public. He wrote, "When Harry heard that he and Meghan were to be so graphically shunted aside on this final appearance, he was furious. The subservience of a spare, one of the basic reasons for this very sad parting of the ways, could not have been more strikingly illustrated. The Duke of Cambridge, however, changed these plans last minute and agreed on entering the Abbey with Kate shortly after his brother and sister-in-law." Mr. Lacey wrote, "The phone lines have hummed over the preceding weekend. The service was on a Monday afternoon. Unfortunately, Prince William had more sense than his underlings. He and Kate would be quite happy. He declared to skip the procession and to take their places without ceremony in the congregation alongside Harry and Uncle Edward. The exclusion of Harry and Meghan from the lineup and the upset it created was discussed also by Finding Freedom's author Ahmed Scurby and Caroline Doran. The royal experts wrote in their book, the decision had been made without their consultation, and they were informed long after the 2,000 orders of service had been printed for guests with the names notably absent. This year it would be just the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall walking through the Abbey with the monarch. It felt intentional. Harry was more than disappointed, a friend said. He spoke up, but the damage had already been done. A source close to the Sussexes also reported in the book saying it should have been the one public moment where the royal family put their arms around the couple for a show of support. They purposefully chose not to put them in the procession and not to be welcoming. It was the most unpleasant. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle news, Commonwealth Day service, Duke, Duchess, Sussex. At the time, Buckingham Palace said there was no set format for the event, suggesting that lineup could change every year. Just minutes before the royals arrived at Westminster Abbey, royal commentator Rebecca English broke the news that the Cambridges and Sussexes would not take part in the Queen's procession. She wrote on Twitter, confirmed the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be part of the Queen's procession through the Westminster Abbey at the start of the Commonwealth service as they make their final official appearance as senior royals. Harry and Meghan are joining the Queen, the Prince of Wales, the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge as they carry out their last public royal duty just before they step down as senior working royals. But unlike last year, Harry and Meghan will be conducted to their seats rather than waiting for the Queen's arrival and walking through the Abbey with the monarch and other senior royals. In March 2019, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge waited together with Prince Charles for the Queen to arrive before joining the procession. On that day, the three couples were seen chatting. Meghan and Charles were even spotted sharing a laugh ahead of the beginning of the ceremony in March 2020. On the other hand, the Sussexes and the Cambridges exchanged only a few nods and words to greet each other. Rifts between Prince William and Prince Harry will never be mended unless the brothers happen to split from their wives. Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton, royal expert, claims the fractured relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry will never be repaired unless they happen to split from their wives, a royal expert has claimed. Ingrid Seward, who is the editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, told the Mirror's part Save the Queen podcast that she fears the damage to the brothers' relationship is beyond repair, following the Duke of Sussex's decision to step away from royal life with his wife Meghan Markle, 39. Seward, who has been following the tribulations of the royal family for decades, said she believes that only an awful tragedy would be enough to bring the brothers back to the level of closeness they once shared. She added that Harry's decision to leave the royal family had also baffled his grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh, who, having been a royal outsider himself, had welcomed Meghan with open arms. She claimed that Prince Philip, 99, was appalled by the couple's dereliction of duty after they moved into a $14 million mansion in Montecito and could not comprehend the decision. I rather doubt that they will ever get back to how they used to be. I really don't think so. I think that's probably a broken relationship. I think perhaps if something happened to Catherine or Meghan, the boys would be together again, but as long as their ladies are there and the families are there, if there was an awful tragedy, it would bring them together, but otherwise I don't think that relationship will be mended. But that is really a personal point of view, and I might not be right. A comment comes as another royal commentator has claimed that Prince William's main challenge King will be to balance staying true to his principles while bringing Prince Harry back to be part of the firm. Royal biographer Robert Lacey, who is the author of Battle of Brothers, a new book that examines the rift between the two dukes, said that everyone wants some kind of reconciliation between the Duke of Cambridge, 38, and the Duke of Sussex, 36. Speaking to Vanity Fair's Katie Nicholl, he said making Prince Harry a part of the institution again would be Prince William's biggest test. He explained the challenge for William is whether, while being true to his principles, he can also modernize the institution by making his brother part of it. That's what everyone wants, some kind of reconciliation. The royal expert went on to claim that the Duke of Cambridge has adopted a similar attitude towards Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, 39, as his grandmother, the Queen, 94. He said,